Cardoso reaffirms commitment to macroeconomic stability. Kerosene, LPG, CNG exempted from 5% fuel surcharge, Presidential Tax Committee. Federal government urges Nupeng NLC to shelve a planned action against Dangote Group. Japanese stocks jump as Prime Minister Ishiba set to step down. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Musa Abubakar, your guide. Now, let's begin by telling you that the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Olayemi Cardoso, has reiterated the bank's commitment to establishing macroeconomic stability, fortifying the banking sector, and establishing Nigeria as a top investment destination. Cardoso stated this during a fireside chat moderated by Andreas Vos, a chief country representative, Deutsche Bank Nigeria, the European Business Chamber, Eurocham Nigeria C-level forum in Lagos. He pointed out that the recapitalization exercise for banks is making good progress and will result in even stronger institutions that can withstand shocks and finance growth, noting that key drivers of renewed investor confidence were the CBN's reforms and the stabilization of the Naira as extolled by members of the EU chambers. The Nigeria Customs Service Board has approved the minimis threshold value for low-value consignment imported through express shipments or by passenger baggage. The decision, which takes effect on Monday, September 8, 2025, was reached at its 63rd regular meeting held on Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, chaired by the Minister of Finance and Coordinator Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun. The board said that the approval aligns with the best global practices that aim to simplify clearance processes for low-value consignments, enhance trade facilitation, and provide clarity for e-commerce stakeholders and travelers. The de minimis threshold is the value below which imported goods are exempted from payment of customs duties and related taxes established by the national legislation. Naira strengthens to 1,514 Naira to a dollar, nears 5-month high. How much is the Naira exchanging for other currencies? Let's see. Key stakeholders in the shape not value chain have welcomed the federal government's policy on zero export of raw nuts. However, they are calling on the government to establish a market board for shea nuts and its byproducts. Musa Babaliu has the details.
This is how the shea tree looks like. The tree produces fruit containing a nut that is processed to create shea butter. Nigeria is the largest producer of shea nuts, accounting for approximately 40% of global production. Due to the high global demand for shea nuts and their byproducts, merchants have been exporting the raw nuts without adding value. As a result, on August 26, the Nigerian government banned the export of raw shea nuts. Key players in the shea products value chain support the government's initiative.
The policy signifies government readiness to formalize share trading and curtail informal trading, as I said, with huge economic losses and arising from undocumented cross-border trading, smuggling, and black market practices. The Nigerian Customs Service should ensure effective policing of all borders to avoid further perpetration of illegal trading.
With the support of the federal government, Nigeria now hosts the largest shea nut processing factory in Mokwa, Niger State.
Now, to shed more light on the issues around shea nut value chain for economic prosperity is the President National Association of Shea Products of Nigeria, NASPAN, Mohammed Ahmed Kwantogora. And we also, well, Kwantogora is here with us. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you very much.
Well, to begin with, the news that the federal government has banned the export of shea is no longer news. But the thing here is, let's begin by you telling us Nigeria is known to have or produces about 40% of the world's shea nuts, but earns less than 1% of the global $6.5 billion market. How does this ban aim to change Nigeria's, fortune?
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying that yes, Nigeria has the largest concentration of shea tree in the world, according to FAO. In fact, according to FAO record, is about 57% of world shea trees is found in Nigeria. However, when it comes to the trading of the raw butter, we are not known. Why? Because mainly we do export of the nut, and added to the fact that record is not taken as we export our raw. Actually, as I said earlier, the trading of shea nut is mainly done in the informal way, especially across border. When you go to our border, you see how our nut gets out of this country is so alarming. Now, with the current government banning of the export of raw shea nut, yes, it's a welcome development to us. However, considering the aim of the government to industrialize nation, to see that we do value addition, so as to have more industries in Nigeria, so as to have more employment, so as to generate more revenue, we believe it is the right time to formalize the sector. But before doing so, we have to take stock of our current position. You do a policy, you don't just do a policy and start today. Yes, most of our neighboring countries has banned, but then they gave time. For example, one of the countries banned this year, but effective January 2026. The sudden announcement has disrupted not only Nigerian share industry, but also
So
the international
you are saying the
share
announcement
industry.
is not done with you consultation
Actually,
of
we
the
are not
association?
consulted ab initio, but we believe government has good intention, especially our president. When you look at the focus of our president, is how to industrialize the nation, how to generate more revenue, which is a good one. But then it has to be planned. It has to be well organized, because I can tell you now, one of the effects of the policy is that as of today, no any woman picker is picking the nut. Why? Because the aggregators who are the buyers are not there, are not buying. They have to stop buying because they were told not to export. That's number one. But on the other hand, we have a large processing facility, I think about 6 in the country. But then, can this facility consume what we are producing?
But
Absolutely
are
no.
they actually working before now?
Yeah, they are working, actually. As of today, I think about 6.
So if they are working and you can possibly get the value of your, that's by the time you make, you process it, you can get a better value for it, then why exporting in the first place?
The issue is that can they consume what we are producing? The nut we are producing, they don't have the capacity to uptake all.
How much capacity are we looking at now?
It is estimated that we are producing about 600,000 metric tons. But then the consumption capacity of all the factories we have in Nigeria are not more than 300,000 at most. So what do you do with the remaining?
Can we be specific with our figures? Because I saw like around 350,000 metric tons.
No. It's not up to that. But definitely
it's not up to that.
Not up to
what we are actually producing.
What we are producing is about 600,000 tons.
So it's more than the 300,000.
No, it's more than 300,000. That is true. But then you have to understand.
But remember, there is also, you said, we need to formalize it. So how do you arrive at that figure?
Of course, these are figures being taken. And now the figures we relied on is even from FAO, Federal Food Agricultural Organization. Now, and then there is some organization that carried out some studies on their own. But as a government, in fact, this is the right time to take the advantage of this situation, so that we appeal to government. Let's formalize this sector. Let's even carry on our baseline survey to determine the actual record of what we are producing. But most importantly, I want us to know that today in Nigeria, we are not picking more than 30% of what we produce, because it is a Herculean task for the woman. The picker trek long distance to the bush, pick the nut and transport it on her head. By the time she comes to her hamlet, she doesn't have storage facility. And when she wants to start processing, she doesn't have clean water. These are communities, she needs to use clean water. These are communities, they don't even have drinkable water. And then when she parboil, she has to sun-dry. She sun-dry by roadside. When she wants to start the actual processing, she do under a tree shade, no common facility. So we are saying, given the necessary support, given the right atmosphere, given the common facility center for the women at the grassroots, they will continue to be buying. Now, one of the advantages we want to take with this one is that at least we will regulate the sector. This will bring regulation to the sector. Why do I say so? Today, you find that anybody can come from any part of the world and go into our villages and buy this nut, which is not supposed to be. In Benin Republic here, you can't go and buy nut. In fact, you have to wait until government gave the order, the go-ahead before you even start trading.
So whose responsibility is it to regulate the sector?
This is supposed to be the government in conjunction with there are regulatory bodies, of course, but then we need to work hand in hand.
So the ban now is for 6 months. Do you think?
Yeah, well, the good part of the ban
is 6 months is enough for you to actually
no.
Put the sector in order?
What we feel should be done is because that's why we said we appreciated the president, because he said temporary ban and for 6 months, which means there is room for adjustment. But for now, what we are saying, we have our aggregators that have an existing contract. They should be allowed to execute that contract. Every day people keep calling me, what do I do with my note? What do I do with, I have large stock of note. I know of a company that has up to 60,000 tons. When you talk of 60,000 tons, you are talking about billions upon billions of naira. What are we going to do with it? And I can tell you this, our factory cannot buy all this note. Yes, because of the nature of the way we're doing the trading, there is always increase in price at any rate. But we need to regulate that. I can give an example. 3 weeks back, just before the ban, I received a call. There are some of the nationals from other countries who are in one of the villages in Plateau. They came to buy. We have to talk to stop them from buying. Why?
Okay,
because
what's the state of infrastructure on ground to actually, effect this government plan of value addition?
One, we need a lot of more facilities. And you don't establish factory in a day. Go back to the history of those that established factories. Even the recent one that was commissioned in Niger State, how many years did it take to come on stream? So it's not something you start a day and finish. It's a welcome development. Now we have factories. But then there is room for more. I can tell you one of the side effects, the fallout of the policy is that as of today, we receive 2 companies that are willing to come establish factory. This is a good one. But what we are saying, let's plan this thing in phases, just like other countries did. You can do a policy today, and then overnight, it start working. Just like the government did tax reform. It not start immediately, even though the National Assembly has passed it, the president has signed, but it not start immediately. There has to be given time. So we are saying the sheer policy ban should be given time to mature, so that we sit down around.
What time are we looking at? What time are we looking at?
For now, we are saying give us the next 3 months. If we can have next 3 months, let those buyers that have the note, those that have contract, those with valid contract can execute their contract. Then we come and plan. If not, it's going to be a problem. Already we have a problem because the women are no longer going into the bush to pick because the aggregators
because of the
cannot
ban.
Yeah?
Because of the ban.
Because the aggregators are not buying. The aggregators are not buying. And then, of course, even the large scale, the processors are not want to go into the bush to buy from the women. So we have to organize the system. We have to do it in such a that it's going to be a win-win situation for everybody. Of course, our number one priority is to ensure that those factories in the country have adequate enough raw material. And they will do so if you regulate the sector such that they will have they will be competitive by buying the note at a cheaper rate. Now the way it is, they cannot compete. They cannot compete because people come with dollar and
but
change.
when you look at it, we're really not making much. When you say we produce 40% of these share nuts, at the end of the day, we don't even make like up to like 1% of this. We are talking about a huge market of around 600. Is it 600 and $6.5 billion.
Now let's look at it this way. We have two markets. We have two. Not we have the shea butter. In the case of the shea nut, that is what we're exporting. But even
in the case of the shea butter, what are you exporting? How much worth are you exporting?
Very negligible. That's true. The butter is very negligible. But even in the nut, the sad part of it is that nobody take records at the point of exit. You go to our border with the Benin Republic, you see trailer loads of nut checking out. That's why we're saying we're appealing to custom and all relevant government agencies. They should do their job. They should do their work. They should enforce. Our fear is this. That's why I'm more concerned. Sometimes back in this country, Nigerian government banned exportation, banned the buying of our commodities at farm gate. Now, but what is happening today? You find any national can come into this country and go to any village and buy any of our commodities. Not peculiar to share. Who will enforce that? Can we enforce it? Now we ban. Can we enforce the banning? So this is our concern. Now, if care is not taken, we are going to encourage more smuggling. So we are saying government should look at it from wider perspective to sit down and say, how can we collectively come together with the relevant agency to work out modalities for implementation. But then we have to be conscious of the fact that we have a lot of work to do so as to pick more nuts, because I am telling you, a lot of our nuts is wasted in the bush.
Okay. Thank you very much, Muhammad Ahmed Kontagora. In fact, it's been a pleasure having you on our studio.
The pleasure is mine.
In our studio.
Thank you very much.
Has appealed to the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers and the Nigeria Labour Congress to reconsider their planned nationwide strike against the Dangote Group over alleged anti-union practices, stressing that dialogue remains the best way to resolve the dispute. In a statement from the Head of Information and Public Relations, Patience Onuabia disclosed that the Minister of Labour and Employment, Muhammad Megari Dingyadi, has intervened and invited all parties to a conciliation meeting scheduled for Monday, September 8, 2025. Dingyadi urged Nupeng to rescind its decision to shut down the nation's petroleum sector, warning that even a day-long strike could unleash devastating consequences on Nigeria's economy and citizens' welfare. He also called on the NLC to withdraw the red alert it had issued to its affiliates to prepare for a solidarity strike in support of Nupeng protests against the Dangote Group's alleged anti-workers policies. Let's head to the capital market, where Olenka has the week-ended report.
Musa, the Nigerian equities market rebounds with 521 billion naira gain, as the NGX All Share Index and market capitalization depreciated by 0.94% to close the week at 138,980.01 basis points and 87.9 trillion naira. The market opened for 4 trading days last week as the federal government of Nigeria declared Friday, September 2025 as public holiday to mark Eid al-Maulud. Meanwhile, a total turnover of 3.117 billion shares worth 90.295 billion naira in 118,018 deals were traded last week by investors on the floor of the exchange. The financial services industry led the activity chart with 2.542 billion shares valued at 30.357 billion naira in 52,390 deals, contributing 81.55% and 33.62% to the total equity turnover in volume and value. The services industry followed with 114.610 million shares worth 816.381 million naira in 6,098 deals, while the third place was the consumer goods industry with a turnover of 105.452 million shares worth 5.492 billion naira in 13,346 deals. Trading in the top 3 equities, Sovereign Trust Insurance, Access Holdings, and Fidelity Bank PLC accounted for 1.685 billion shares worth 9.813 billion naira in 9,367 deals, contributing 54.05% and 10.87% to the total equity turnover in volume and value. For exchange-traded products, a total of 129,163 units valued at 11.282 million naira were traded in 239 deals, while at the bonds market, a total of 17,617 units valued at 18.0 million naira were traded in 23 deals. On summary of price changes, 19 equities appreciated in price during the week, 64 equities depreciated in price, while 64 equities as well remained unchanged. And that does it on this segment of the program. It's back to you, Musa, for the continuation of the program.
Thank you, Alaika, for that update. Japanese stocks jump as Prime Minister Ishiba said to step down. Now, Muplanda Kok is standing by with Global Stocks Update. Muplanda Kok is over to you.
Thank you very much, Musa. Welcome to the Monday rundown of global stocks market. We begin from Europe, where attention is on the French Prime Minister as lawmakers hold confidence vote this Monday. DAX was up 0.57% at 23,732.54 basis points. The FTSE of Britain was also up by 0.08% at 9,215.64 basis points, and CAC 40 of France also advanced by 0.51%. We move over to Asia, where the markets were also positive as the Prime Minister is also saying he is going to step down this Monday. So investors in that region are waiting to see how the market will be, but it is still positive as Japan's Nikkei 225 is up by 0.03% at 43,643.81 basis points. China's Shanghai Composite also advanced 0.38%, and the Hang Seng Index of Hong Kong appreciated by 0.85%. In the US, the markets were red this Monday as key inflation data is being awaited. The Dow Jones Industrial Average depreciated by 0.48%. S&P 500 also dipped by 0.32%, and the Nasdaq Composite Index depreciated by 0.03%. In Africa, the market was mixed, and it was led by South Africa, which gained 1.81%. Kenya's Nairobi All-Share Index is yet to post numbers as of this time, and Tunisia and Namibia appreciated, while Ghana's GSE Composite depreciated by 0.05%. That's it on the global scene. It's back to you, Musa.
Thank you, Mufula. Well, this is where we end this edition of Business Express. Be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on the NTS channel. Business Express returns on Tuesday by 9:30 a.m. I'm Musa Abubakar. Thanks for your company.